2025 is coming to an end, and it was a massive year for Lego. Record breaking releases, strong financial performance, and bold expansion into new markets propelled Lego to new heights. But when it comes to pricing, quality, and design, this year was filled with brilliant highs and frustrating lows. Some sets were beyond ambitious, some were things no one asked for. Some design atrocities made us wonder how they were even approved in the first place. And some took home decor a step too far in the wrong direction. Most GWPs were pure FOMO baits, and some sets, though good, left fans confused and wondering. But before we begin, please like and subscribe if you like our content. Help the channel reach its year end goal of 3000 subscribers. Let's get started. In this video, I'll walk you through my picks for the most disappointing LEGO sets of 2025. LEGO Marvel in particular had a terrible 2025, with most releases turning into huge disappointments. Starting the list is the Fantastic Four vs. Galactus set. It comes with 427 pieces and a $60 price tag. The pricing is terrible and the four minifigures are beyond awful. Next up is the Avengers Endgame Final Battle set. With 621 pieces, 10 minifigures, and a $100 price tag, this set is massively overpriced. The minifigures are bearable, but the diorama design is uninspiring, cluttered, and gaudy. Even at a 50% discount, this set is still sitting on shelves, and that says a lot. Next, we have Captain America Civil War set. It has 736 pieces, 8 minifigures, and again costs 100 US dollars. Another terribly priced set with an eyesore of a design. The minifigure selection is awful for such an iconic scene. The Quinjet and Giant Man look bad, and the entire build feels like a hollow facade. All I can say is I genuinely hate this set. Moving on, I have Spider Man vs. Oscorp. This one has 808 pieces, 8 minifigures, and a price tag of 140 US dollars. The building is just a shallow facade. Every bit of detail is a sticker. The minifigures are just okay, nothing exciting, and the dollhouse style back is empty and boring. Even at 40% discount, this still feels overpriced. I don't have a single praiseworthy thing to say about this particular set. Stepping away from Marvel, I have Hagrid and Harry's motorcycle ride from Harry Potter lineup. This $50 set has 617 pieces, and as much as it pains to tell this, it looks horrendous from every angle, front, side, or otherwise. Even Hedwig looks ugly, and I don't want this thing anywhere near my shelf. Next one is the most hated set of 2025, the Republic Juggernaut from Star Wars. With 813 pieces and a price tag of 160 US dollars, terrible pricing is an understatement for this set. The design isn't sturdy, the model falls apart very easily, the interiors are hollow, and the exterior bodywork looks bad. All in all, I'm really not sure how this particular set passed through all of Lego's quality check and made it to the shelves. The only saving grace is the Galactic Marines minifigures, and the rest of the minifigures are just decent at best. At this point, I want to admit that I was extremely excited about the How to Train Your Dragon IP. And Lego gave us this buildable toothless that looks like a joke. This is an 18 plus set for heaven's sake, and what made Lego think that this design was for adults is beyond me. Even a 10-year-old wouldn't find this appealing. I received this set as a gift and didn't enjoy the build, didn't find Toothless cute, and this particular set is so tiny that it's almost invisible on a display. On its own, it looks like a broken child's toy, and with other sets, it just looks ugly. A horrible set at that. Now, anyone who has worked with PowerPoint knows corporate Memphis art. Humanoid characters made of basic shapes with exaggerated bodies and tiny heads. I hate them. I never use them in my PowerPoints at work. And I also hate this Nike Slam Dunk Lego set, which reminds me of that thankfully dying art style. What made Lego think that this was a good design choice for their Nike collaboration baffles me. Basketball fan or not, I would never place this next to Botanicals, Book Nooks, or any Lego home decor or any other home decor for that matter. If there is a stronger word than ugly, I'd use that for this set. Next up in the worst lineup, I have French Cafe set. This set is not minifigure scale and it has zero depth. I can understand both of that. Considering this set is meant as a bookshelf decor, we cannot expect it to be minifigure scale or lot of interiors. But even as a display model, it looks unfinished, ugly, and sad all at once. I don't know what's wrong with this set particularly, but when I look at it, I really see ugliness. Even Lego's own promo images with red roses placed next to it somehow makes it look far worse. I wouldn't want to spend my money on this. Next up, I have another monstrosity of a Lego set called Balrog Book Nook. In 2025, Lego released few book nooks, and the Harry Potter and the Sherlock ones look really good. But this Lord of the Rings version misses everything a book nook should be. Instead of a fierce, fearsome Balrog, we get a ridiculous and cartoonish version. It looks bad from every angle and it looks really bad in the middle of books on a bookshelf. Next up, I have another shallow facade, Malfoy Manor from the Harry Potter lineup. From the front, this 1601 piece set looks good with decent colors, but it's extremely shallow, hollow inside, and lacks any kind of interior space. The minifigures are extremely basic with almost no detailing. Even combining two of these sets doesn't create a satisfying Malfoy manner. Lego really needs to reflect on how painfully basic the Harry Potter minifigures and the lineup has become and do something to elevate that. Next in the worst category I have is the Shire. With 2017 pieces and a 270 US dollar price tag, the pricing is definitely bad. The only saving grace of this particular set are minifigures with good detailing and jewel molded legs. Considering how many pieces are just tiny, the pricing becomes even worse. Also, the tree is poorly foliated, the exterior lacks plants and flowers, and the interiors are even worse with almost no detail or space. The side builds feel like fillers, and every part of this set needs modification to look good. For such an anticipated release of 2025, the disappointment was massive and it was a huge letdown as well. Next in the worst lineup, I have another high value Harry Potter set, Hogsmeade Village Collector's Edition. This set is priced at 400 US dollars and comes with 3,228 pieces and 12 minifigures. This set is compatible with Gringotts Bank and Diagon Alley sets. But next to Diagon Alley, this set looks dull. It includes 7 iconic establishments, yet 2 are barely noticeable. Except for Mrs. Flume and Aberforth Dumbledore, the minifigures are extremely basic. The front facade looks vibrant but relies heavily on stickers and small parts for detailing and snow effects. The backs are narrow, hollow, and under detailed. For such a high value price tag, this does not deserve the collector's edition title. And as a Lego Harry Potter fan, this set was deeply disappointing for me. Before the next set, let me say this. I love real aquariums. I enjoy watching fish swim. It's very calming. And my children love feeding them. But Lego releasing a 4,154 piece tropical aquarium set for 480 US dollars is something most fans didn't ask for, including me. I agree that Lego excels at home decor like botanicals and art sets. But thinking that Lego can also do a Lego aquarium which can replace a real aquarium feels delusional. The build looks horrid, the fishes look disgusting, and I would never choose this particular set over a real tank. Lego needs to accept the fact that everything need not be made in brick form. And getting the fish filter and fish food GWP was kind of more funny to me than the actual main set in itself. Finally, we have the most infamous Lego set ever, the $1,000 Death Star or Death Slice or whatever you want to call it. I can live with the fact that it's a dollhouse style design with narrow width. I even understand fans saying that this is the best way to display everything on a shelf by giving access to all minifigures and all dioramas. But what I cannot accept is 50 plus stickers in a $1,000 set. especially that won't survive humid Asian summers. And despite having 38 minifigures, most of them feel half hearted and lack premium detailing. Even brand new characters like the Imperial Dignitary didn't get leg printing in this set. The excuses Lego gave are unacceptable at this price point, and GWP is laughable at best. The Aquarium GWP feels more premium than this TIE fighter, to be honest. So, yes, when adult fans justify this set based on piece count or minifigure count, I won't disagree with their opinions. It's fine if they love it, but I will never spend $1,000 on a set filled with half hearted decisions and sold as an ultimate collector's experience. So, that's my take on the worst Lego sets of 2025. Do let me know in the comments what are your picks for the worst sets, and thank you for watching. See you all in the next one.